I got a call last Thursday from somebody that wanted to know whether or not I could do a wedding. And I said, well, when? And they said, I need it to be, visiting hours are like 11 to 3 on Saturday and 2 to 3, 2 to 4 on Sunday, and she named these times. Sunday just happened to be Easter Sunday. So I said, well, I don't really have any time this weekend that I can do it because I had had a pretty busy week and I was looking forward. I had figured that if everything worked out well, I had Sunday afternoon off for the week. And it turns out that that was basically the only time that would work. But I said, well, where is it? And she says, it's at the Conroe jail. I said, okay. Oh, no. But after she told me the story, and I won't go into the story, but I won't tell you that he was in the Aryan Brotherhood, but she convinced me that he was not like the other people in the Aryan Brotherhood. It didn't seem like the kind of thing I would normally do, but somehow the way that she told it and so forth, I decided that I would do it because it really, she seemed pretty desperate, and I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And I found a lot of times that when I've turned people down to do things, they go on and do it anyway, so it doesn't matter. So we go to the jail, and I have this idea. I haven't really ever been to the jail. Have I got something here?
No, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah, anytime y'all move. So the only people that I've seen really in jail that much were, other than my mom and my grandma, people on television. And so I had this idea that you would go in and sit at on my soap opera, and they always go in and sit at a table, and they talk to each other. And I've seen a few people on phones, but I didn't really have an idea until I went in, and we went in the front door, and we had to wait for 20 minutes. And then we were let in mass. And instead of privacy for this wedding, there's like 10 little cubicles, and I get to talk to the groom on the phone. And so I've got the bride and I have about this much room. And she ran a little bit late because she had to put some makeup on. And but she did get there finally. So she's here, I'm here, and we're on the phone. And I'm trying to, this is probably nuts, except I think every single one of you, if you were crazy enough to do this, and I have done a dog wedding before, so you can know that I really have gone pretty far out with this kinds of things. I did a dog wedding one time for a dog. Dog, yes.
Oh, that's even better.
Dog, yeah, no, dog.
Did you tell them to lick the bride?
That it was on the Deborah Duncan show. I did a dog wedding on the Deborah Duncan show. So I'm trying to think of, I want to make a difference. And maybe I can tell you about a previous dog wedding I did, but which is another pretty good story. Yeah. So, but I really want to make a difference in this guy's life. Right. I think this may be the one shot this guy has, maybe not, but he's in prison. Evidently he has an addiction problem, and he's a member of the Aryan Brotherhood. Yeah. And I'm thinking, and I'm going to get to talk to this guy, and normally he wouldn't listen to me. He would not listen to anything I had to say, but I had a captive audience.
Literally, yeah.
And so what was I going to say to this guy that could possibly make a difference to him? I didn't have any, no papers, nothing. The only thing I brought in was an ID. I brought in a ministerial ID card and a driver's license. That's what I had in my hand. Okay. And I had me. And we were standing there, and I said, I talked to him about getting married, and I said, well, your marriage is going to be different in a way, but very much like other marriages, because most of the time the relationship that we have with someone else is in our heads. And so I'm going to ask you to vow that when you think of the other person, you think of them in warm and glowing terms, and you think about them being supportive. And in terms of who you are, I want you to give this picture. Imagine a jar of mayonnaise. And if you took this jar of mayonnaise and you put it in the mud, and you just rolled it around, it was all muddy, and then maybe put it in some grass and you picked it up, it'd look just awful. It'd look messy. But if you go over to the water and you wash it off and get it all clean on the outside and open it up, what happens? It's a clean jar of mayonnaise. And I want to let you know that you're the mayonnaise. Yep. Even though you have done things in your life, the inside and the mayonnaise is who you are, and the things that you've done in your life are the mud and the grass. And the mud and the grass can never touch you. It can never change you. It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter how you've acted out. It can never change you. And you will always be the mayonnaise. And when you think of each other, regardless of if you're slinging arrows at each other or whatever you're doing, remember that you're the mayonnaise. And nothing can change the purity of who you are. And so that's the story that I hoped might touch this one man in the Aryan Brotherhood in prison when I did their wedding.